everyone! So, with the release of MW3, there's a lot of talk about the Zombies mode. So, I bought the game and played Zombies for myself. Now, I don't expect the Zombies mode to be as good as the round-based we're all used to. I mean, that's the formula that we all grew up with and enjoyed the most. However, there are the few that played Outbreak a lot, but beside the point. That being said, this video will not just be a flat comparison to the older Zombies games with some BS ending like, oh, Black Ops 3 is better, this isn't worth, or anything like that. This video is going to work more as an explanation of how the Zombies works, and hopefully off that you can decide whether or not the game mode's for you. I'll also be giving my own personal opinion about the game in the end, so stick around for that. First, let's start by talking about how the mode itself works. You have 3 character slots. Each character can have different gear, however whatever is currently in your rucksack transfers between characters. So, if you have a character with a large rucksack and a character with a small rucksack, and you have items in the extra slots of the large rucksack, and you start playing as the character with a smaller rucksack, as soon as you get a larger rucksack on that character, then they'll have the items from the larger rucksack in their slots too. Now, the different gear you can get are different rucksacks, gas masks, self-revives, armor vests, and kill streaks. Rucksacks have different sizes, armor vests have 1 to 3 plate variants, gas masks have a durable variant, and obviously the different kill streak types. Now, for your loadout, it seems to work pretty much just like DMZ did. I didn't play a whole lot, so I can't really expand on that. You have 2 weapon slots, and any weapon you extract with, aside from wonder weapons, will be brought back and you'll be able to start the game with them. However, they will lose all their rarity in Pack-a-Punch level, but they will keep their attachments. You can also select the tactical and lethal, you unlock more with levels, same with your field upgrade. And personally, I just run throwing knives and stun grenades. Now, with the field upgrades, the ones that are back are the Energy Mine, Frenzied Guard, Healing Aura, Frost Blast, Ether Shroud, and Tesla Storm. Also, any tacticals and lethals you extract with will automatically be applied to your character loadouts. Now, if you extract with a Monkey Bomb or a Casimir Grenade, which, for those of you who don't know or didn't play Cold War, are essentially just skirmish devices. So if you extract with either of those two, as long as you have at least one valid one in your inventory, you will have that set in your loadout for your next match. Now, from my experience, the only items that you can extract with are perk cans, ammo mods, ether tool, and Ethereum crystals. You can also find schematics during your games from rewards for doing contracts, and if you extract with those, it'll allow you to craft whatever those schematics contain freely. However, the schematic will be put on a cooldown after crafting one. I believe it is a 3-hour cooldown. However, wonder weapon schematics, from what I've heard, have a 48-hour cooldown. Now, once you extract, all compatible items will be put into your acquisitions. Now, the important thing to note here is that you only have 10 spaces for extracted items. However, you can also have a rewards tab where items you obtain from doing quests are stored. I don't recommend taking these out of your reward slots until you actually want to use them, as they don't seem to take any of the slots from your acquisitions. Speaking of quests though, there are mainline missions which give you rewards such as items that can go into your acquisitions, and other cosmetics like charms, calling cards, and also XP tokens. There are 3 acts. Each act contains a lot of little missions which are typically pretty easy to finish, but get a little harder and more tedious the further along you go. I personally like this system as you get rewarded from the quests, and it gives you a sense of progression aside from the usual camo grind. You can also check your current quests in-game on the left side when you pull up the minimap, and you can even see your teammates' quests if you tab over to the side. Although the actual progress shown seems to be a little bit inconsistent with what their actual progress is. So, the map is layered with 3 different zones. The closer to the center you are, the more difficult zone you'll be in. You start in Zone 1, the easiest area, and I personally would compare it to about round 5 zombies. The orange layer is Zone 2, which is more akin to around 15-20 zombies. You'll see a lot more mini-bosses like mimics and manglers, and lightly armored zombies. The red layer is the hardest zone, and I'd compare it to like around 50-55 zombies. Lots of heavy armored zombies, pretty much every single zombie is a super sprinter, and more dangerous enemies that I'd rather not spoil, but I heavily recommend that you take advantage of turrets in this area. You'll find circuits for them in the crates, and so just hold on to those if you're planning on going to a tier 3 area. You cannot extract with them though, just keep that in mind. As for how the Pack-a-Punch works, on Zone 1 you can only reach Pack-a-Punch Tier 1, Zone 2, Pack-a-Punch Tier 2, and Zone 3 allows Pack-a-Punch Tier 3. Additionally, buy stations in higher tier areas also seem to have more items available for purchase. Now, a big thing too is that you have multiple squads in the same map. I believe it's 24 total people consisting of squads of 3. You can also solo queue if you would just want to turn off fill, but that will still put you in a match with up to 23 other players. A really interesting about this too is that people outside of your squad can help you, so if you're completely bled out, you still have a chance to get saved by other players in your match. Also, when you completely bleed out, your body stays there and your teammates can bring you back. However, you do lose all your perks you had equipped, but it's definitely better than the alternative of just losing everything. In addition to that, you no longer lose your perks when you get down, it's only if you bleed out all the way. That's pretty much the bulk of all the information I gathered. If you've played the mod yourself and have found even more info, please let me know in the comments, as it is very early in the game's life cycle, and I'm not going to know everything. Cutting in here since I found a bit more information, and this might be important to you if you're doing the camo grind. So, for starters, the gold camos in zombies can be a little bit weird, as sometimes you'll extract and do exactly what it says, but it won't reward you with the camo. Now, the solution I have found personally is to load into the game with the gun you have ready to get gold, meaning you completed the challenges and simply need the 100 kills in an extract. And do not pack a punch it. Upgrading your weapon rarity is fine though. Instead, go around and clear around 1 to 2 ether nests or infested fortresses. Then, exfil. And make sure you have the weapon with you, as you are required to exfil with it to get the gold camo. Now, my guess as to why this happens is because the camo requirement says to extract with that weapon's name, but when you pack-a-punch it, its name changes and the game doesn't recognize the requirement as being fulfilled. Last thing, I found this cool bike. Now, as for my personal opinion of the game, I actually really enjoy it. I would much rather get round-based zombies, but this is a much better version of Outbreak, and is genuinely a mode I can see myself grinding. It's fun to just go through runs, stock up on perks and other items, and stuff from my next playthroughs. I also really enjoy that going to higher tier zones feel like you actually need to prepare, and you can't just drop in and clear the place up super effortlessly. Although I do kind of wish the matches weren't constrained to a single hour, but I mean, I get it. Aside from that, the challenges feel rewarding to complete, and I might actually just go for the mastery camos like I did for Cold War. If you're looking for the classic zombies feel, then this game is definitely not for you. However, if you enjoyed Outbreak and want a bit more of a challenge from that, I definitely think you'd enjoy MW3 Zombies. This has been a ton of fun, and I plan to continue playing it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you have anything about MW3 Zombies that you don't like, aside from the usual, oh, they're killing zombies by removing round base, then please leave a comment and let me know exactly what it is. I'm curious to hear about the game from everyone else's perspective. Please be sure to like and subscribe if you did enjoy, and have a great rest of your day. Adios. Wait, there's more than just zombies in this mode, isn't there? Yeah. There are mercenaries that you can also run into throughout your match. They're a pain in the ass, to be honest, and they instantly melt through your armor, and if you get caught in a bad spot, it could completely end your run. However, they're also not that difficult to avoid. There are convoys that'll ride around occasionally, and they're almost always on the main roads from what I've noticed. There are also camps around the map that are marked, so you can pretty easily avoid those too. But it's not like they're there for absolutely no reason, or that they're just scattered randomly to be annoying. You can even do some runs where you focus on fighting mercenaries, and it's actually kind of fun. Though, like I said, they're also pretty easy to avoid if you want to just focus on the zombies. Convoys usually won't chase you very far off the main roads, and camps are marked so you can avoid them for the most part. However, those mercenary camps always contain a stronghold keycard, and once you clear out a stronghold, it'll have a legacy keycard, which leads to this mountain fortress. Now, taking on this fortress can be pretty difficult, and it's also kind of weird that you're doing it in a zombies mode, but I had fun with it regardless. You also get some rewards at the end, so it's not a complete waste. Gonna go and defend the zombies mode a little bit here, but I've been seeing a lot of people hating the game mode for the stupidest reasons. There are people who haven't even touched the game mode at all and are already calling it the worst zombies, and it's crazy to me. How are you gonna form such a strong opinion on something you haven't even played? If the game mode looks boring to you and you just don't want to play it for that reason, or you played it and you didn't like it, that's fine and understandable. This isn't directed towards you. I went into this game mode ready to hate it, and I didn't at all. I had a lot of fun with it, and it was something new but completely different. And that's my experience. That's fine. It's what I pictured an open world zombies experience to be like, and what I thought Outbreak would be. And I was pleasantly surprised with the game mode. I think a lot more people would enjoy it if they just gave it a chance, but going into the game mode and being upset it's not round based is like biting into a lemon and getting mad it's not an apple. It's stupid. And there's plenty to criticize about the game mode already, especially as someone who plays solo a lot. For example, the lack of scaling on any of the quests is really rough and adds an extra layer of difficulty to an already kind of difficult mode, at least in the higher zones. And when you exfil to spawn a bunch of zombies for XP, for challenges or whatever reason, and some random just starts coming up and yoinking kills, or stealing loot from your nest or stronghold that you cleared out, it's annoying. But to criticize the game off of, what it isn't is completely stupid. Yapping over. Have a good day.